So I was talking to an owner of a store today, and they have a pretty robust business, been going for a couple of years, doing well. They have a lot of employees. They're paying out about, I think it was about 15,000 a month in retainers, and they're growing. They're happy with it. And we were talking about agencies and my opinion on agencies, and they hire bigger agencies. They like the bigger agency, which a lot of people do. I'm not a fan of those bigger agencies. If you listen to me before, you know I like a single skill agency. So they only do email, or they only do Facebook ads, or they only do CRO. I usually like those businesses because the owner has that certain skill that he's selling. So this type of agency would have started out as a one-man show. That person operated his skill until he got enough clients that he was busy, and then what he would have done is train some people to do his skill. So when you're in that kind of agency, if something goes wrong, the owner knows how to fix it. You can tell him, hey man, there's something wrong with my account, go look at it, and he can fix it. The problem with the big agencies is sometimes this guy he started up a big agency, but he only knows Facebook ads. So then you got a Google ads problem. He really doesn't know what's going on. He's like, spit it out. He's like, I don't know what's going on with your account. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want that guy to own the skill. So we further talked about how would you figure out if things are wrong with the account. So my thing always is audits. If you don't know yourself, if you can't run that account yourself, you should be getting an audit. And if I were you, I would go out and find 5 people, agencies who do that single skill for every aspect of marketing. CRO, Facebook ads, email marketing, Google if you're doing it. You don't need Google, but if you're doing it, do Google too. I think you don't need Google. Some people do, but me personally, I sell apparel. I don't need Google. Maybe you're selling I don't know, crazy stuff that sells on Google, but I don't know anything about that. Audits. So you want to get audits. How often do you get an audit? So I said on the phone, I get 3 or 4 audits a year, maybe more. I don't know why I have a hard time saying the word audit. Sometimes it sounds like something else, but audit. That's like when somebody looks at your thing and line by line tells you what's wrong with it. They give you like a punch list of errors and defects. And it's all subjective because maybe they have a different point of view or a different philosophy on how they do things. Maybe they execute it differently. Maybe they were trained differently. There's like with Facebook ads, for instance, you could get somebody who audits your account and they're like, everything's wrong with it, but it's making money. So everything can't be wrong with it, but it's making money. So when you get an audit, one of the things I would do is I would talk to the person before you even get them in your account and make sure that they have the same philosophy as the person running your account, unless you want to switch structures of your account, in which case you get somebody else and just get them to switch the structure. But you can expect a downturn when that happens for a little while, because if you completely revamp, say, email marketing or Facebook ads, you're going to see a little bit of a... So just keep that in mind. So next, sorry, I've got a little thing in my throat. Next is, so you get the audit. What do you do with it? So ethically, I think that if you're going to be getting audits and you don't have a plan to change agencies, in other words, if you're pulling an audit and your plan is to pull this audit and present it to your Facebook ads agency and tell them that you want them to make some changes based upon what you found was wrong in the account, I think that you should pay for that. I think you should, from the outset, tell them you're not looking to switch providers and that you're just looking for a punch list, because that is the truth. If you are looking to switch agencies, then most likely they'll offer you a free audit because they want your business. But you have to understand, when you get that kind of audit, it's going to say switch no matter what you do. So I would be ready to switch if you're ready to switch. If you're ready to switch, So in other words, if you're not happy with the performance and you're getting the account audited, you're expecting the guy to come back and say there's something wrong, and then you're going to say, okay, let's move. If you are happy with the performance, but you're just getting an audit because you're like me, I like to have audits because I might get 0.05% or 1.5% performance gain from an audit that points out some weakness in my campaign or my structure, in my flows, in my segmentation, I might get 1.5%. And when you're doing $10,000 a month, 1.5% that's not going to make any break any records. But if you're doing a couple million a month, 1.5% is a good amount of money. And that's what I'm doing these days for some of the companies that I'm working for. So they want to see that 1.5. So I get them audited constantly, 3 to 5 times a year. And what you could do is maybe you could find another brand owner who knows Facebook ads. You could ask him to take a look at it. Maybe you could find, an email agency that you can trust them. And you could say to them, listen, man, one day you'll get my account. Maybe not right now, but one day you'll get my account. And I just want you to tell me, does it need to be now or is it in the future? And then they'll be like, yeah, you really need to change this account to a different provider. One thing I think I mentioned yesterday on my shorts that Google has done some resets. They're changing some rules in email sending. So some of you might be out there trying to figure out, well, in a couple of weeks, you'll be like, why is my email messed up? How come my revenues are down? Well, I hope you've been checking Google Postmaster. If you don't know what Google Postmaster is, look up Google Postmaster. Not eligible for mitigation. And Gmail sender requirements, I think it is. I'm trying to remember what it is exactly, but you just go to Google Postmaster and look up your domain. I hope you have set up Google Postmaster with your sending domain. If you haven't, Google how to do that on YouTube probably, and you'll see. Anyway, nice to talk to you. Thanks for listening.